Okay, good morning everyone and welcome to Thursday's Assembly. It's lovely to see so many of you, and also remember Assembly is being recorded so you can watch it later. As you know, at the moment we're thinking about what's important, and I want to ask you all a question this morning. And I'm sure it's a question that a lot of you get asked a lot of the time. I'm going to ask everyone watching, what do you want to be when you grow up? What would you like to be when you grow up? I wonder what's going through your head at the moment. Hopefully lots and lots of different things. Now, when I was at school, when you would ask what did you want to be, unfortunately there weren't that many choices. As you know, a lot of you, I grew up in Poole and I went to Parkstone Grammar School. And when I was there weren't really that many options for girls. Most people wanted to be a teacher, they wanted to be a nurse, or they went to work in Barclays International, which had just opened in Poole. Nowadays, though, I'm delighted to say that when I say, what do you want to be? You're going to have lots of amazing ideas. I'm sure some of you are thinking that you want to be conservationists, you want to be scientists, some of you might want to be teachers, some of you might want to do all sorts of things, some of you might want to go all around the world, some of you might want to work for big financial corporations, some of you might want to be lawyers or historians or writers or illustrators, computer programmers, who knows? You can now do anything that you would like to do. And I think that's amazing that in a short space of time, we've gone from not having that many choices to having the whole world in front of us, and we can decide what we want to be and what you want to be. So we're going to sing a hymn this morning, which is thinking about the characteristics of some animals, and it's a real favourite of ours in junior school and pre-prep. So I want to see you all joining in with all the actions, okay? So we're going to sing If I Were a Butterfly. Off we go.
Alex in the corner. Let's go on, yeah. You're unmuting.
How do you get the back? You got to
Thank you. I hope you're all joining in with the actions there. Okay, Miss Alford and Mr. Stiggins are here with me, and they were joining in too. Okay, now then, so what's important? Over the lockdown, I'm sure lots of you every Thursday evening perhaps went outside and clapped and banged your saucepans and things like that, and saw people around you thanking people who work for the NHS and key workers. So those are people that we have recently been thinking about and thinking how important their jobs are. So if you think about it, who were the people who were really important to keep everything going during lockdown? Well, it was everyone who worked in the hospitals. So not only doctors and nurses, but also all the people helping behind the scenes in hospitals, perhaps bringing in all the deliveries, all the cleaners, people like that. Also, we all obviously still needed to eat when we were in lockdown. And so the people working in the supermarkets were really, really important suddenly. Often we look at people in the supermarkets, perhaps they're stacking the shelves, and it's often a job that young people do while they're students, or people do it to fit round other things. And it's not generally considered a sort of high priority, important job. But actually, this lockdown has turned things around for us, hasn't it? Because we've suddenly realised that the people doing the jobs, like the cleaning, doing the deliveries, doing the supplies, they're actually really, really important jobs. Now, if you think about it, those sort of jobs are often the jobs that aren't paid as much as some other jobs. And do you remember last week we talked about, didn't we, not judging anybody by what they look like or how much money they have. And it's important as well never to judge someone by what they're doing. Right? I'm now sitting here as your head teacher. When I was younger and my children were younger, I used to take in ironing for people because it was something I could do to fit around my family. So it's important, girls, that you never judge someone by what they do. Now, I've got a treat for you now, because some of our head girls and prefects have been thinking about what's important to them. And so we're just going to show a little video so that you can see what they find important.
What we find important. By the prefects and head girls.
Hi, I'm Daniela and I'm going to share with you what I find important. The main thing I find important is family and friends because they're always there for you, they're caring, loving and just amazing people. The next thing has to be dance because every time I'm feeling stressed, upset or even happy, I will just dance my feelings out.
Hi, Lila here, and I'm going to tell you a bit about what I find important to me. Times like these definitely make us think about the things we most value and appreciate. I valued the support of my wonderful friends and family whilst we have been in lockdown. My parents have been so supportive with my schoolwork and my sport. I felt so lucky when I was able to go back on the water again and train in my boat. I've also really valued the constant support of all my teachers at school. Whilst we have been remote learning, even though it can't have been easy for them, they were always on hand with positivity and support. Finally, I have realised how lucky I am to have a garden behind me here, to enjoy nature, to play badminton, which we have been doing a lot, or to just watch our veggie patch grow the lovely food we have planted.
Important to me. Many things important to me, and one of them is my hamster. She's called Snowy and I've had her for almost 3 years now, so she's getting pretty old. And she's really special to me because whenever I'm sad I'll just get her out and she'll just climb all over me and I'll have to try and find her in the sleeves of my jacket. Bye!
I find Talbot Heath really interesting because it's got so much to do there and what they teach is very fun as well as very good, and it gives you an amazing education. I love Talbot Heath and I'm staying on until I graduate.
Hello, I'm Francesca and I'm going to be talking about things that are important to me. So the first one is being able to see my family every day. And the second one is to see my dog. And he's the one who makes me smile every day and makes me feel happy. The third one is to have enough food, to be strong, and do exercise every day. Some people don't even have that, so I'm really grateful for enough food. Also, my fourth one is to have a nice roof over my head, and I don't have to be outside in the cold with the rain.
Thank you for watching.
Right. Thank you very much, Year 6. Right, let's put our hands together and say our prayer then for today. Dear Lord, help us to remember what is important. Help us not to be judgmental, not to judge people by how they look, how much money they have, or what they do. Help us to remember that what's important is what sort of person we are and how we treat everyone around us. Amen. Right, so it's Thursday today. It's going to be a very hot day, I believe, so lots of drinking of water is required. Making sure that when you're outside you take advantage of all the shade that's around. For those of you at school, I know you'll probably have some of your lessons outside. Those of you who are at home, I hope you find somewhere cool to spend the middle part of the day. And of course, we're really looking forward to tomorrow morning when we're going to be welcoming Year 3 back on site. So that means we will have everybody in junior school will have had the opportunity to come back on site. Those of you who are still going to be at home though, remember you are still part of our community and we haven't forgotten you. All right, you can still get in touch with your teachers through your Google Classroom, all right, and we haven't forgotten you. So if anyone who's still at home would like to send, and not coming back to school, would like to send me a short video about themselves and what they're getting up to at home, that would be fantastic. And hopefully I can include some of those in next week's Zoom assembly. So have a great Thursday, everybody, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.